Good morning, Tuesday morning, Garden of England. Could be drier, could be warmer, but probably make this a quick one because my hand is feeling the chill. Anyway, back to basics very early on in MindStore courses. Oh, before we do that, if you haven't done so already, you need to watch the second interview with Kathleen. It's now up on YouTube right next to this one. And if you haven't watched the first one before, for goodness sake, what are you waiting on? You got to go and watch that first before you watch the second one. First one's extraordinary, second one, oh my goodness, but incredibly, can you wait for the third one? Oh my god, what an interview that is. Can't wait to let you see that, but first of all, you must watch 1 and 2. Enjoy both of them. Now, early on when MindStore started, particularly because most people came, they had no idea what was this guy going to do with me. They were either sent in by their companies or I had managed to convince them. One of those Saturday morning introductory talks in the concert hall, some of you remember them. And when I get started, I would say to them, look, there's someone somewhere did research, God knows who it was. I read it somewhere that across the entire planet, something like 4 to 6% of people were committed. They'd set goals and they were absolutely compelled to go and achieve them. And maybe 2% from time to time thought about having goals, occasionally dipped their toe in, but 92% of the population, listen to this, spend their entire lives helping that 4 to 6% achieve their goals. Think about that. Have you got up this morning passionate about your future? Have you got up this morning with an excitement about what might show up today as you attract the people, places, opportunities on the way to achieving your goals? Or are you getting up today like a robot fulfilling the dreams of others? Think about that, for goodness sake. And one of the great things about interviewing the likes of Eamon and Kathleen now and the others I've got in mind, we've all been in this together. I stood up on the stage and I shared, or I was in front of the room sharing, but you guys participated. If we weren't in the room together, none of this would have happened. But what's wonderful about the interviews, you realise you're kind of like sitting beside someone who did the course with you and how they went on and achieved. And if we brought ourselves back together to have a follow-up chat and meeting, then we'd be sharing these kind of stories. You'd be sharing your stories and we would all increasingly be inspired. But one of the things I also said on those courses, and it's really important, once you go through the goal setting process, and remember we're going to start that on Monday the 2nd of December, we're going to do 4 weeks of it, so that by the time January shows up, you're ready with a passion to go out and fulfill what you wish to achieve in 2025. And you know what? If you go through the process and you make the commitment, and I continue to coach you like this, and you know what? You're going to achieve those goals. But one of the things I said is, once you've set a goal, it's really, really, really important that you never share that goal with any other human being unless you know for a fact they will support you. And that will be very few. Remember, 92% don't set goals. And because they don't set goals, when they see people who are out there driving with a passion towards futures they truly want to manifest, then they get all confused. They don't like it. It feels threatening because if you can succeed, then they can succeed. The dog's barking because it's so important to hear this. And so what they do is, out of possibly envy, jealousy, all those other silly human traits, that what they do is they start to sabotage. You'll sabotage yourself. You know, and you don't need to be in their energy. That's why the bell jar is so important. If you're out there going after your dreams and you're being positive and you're doing the meditations to protect yourself from stress, you don't need to be pulled down by the vibration, the resonance of those negative people. And of course, lots of people won't be negative towards you, they'll just be indifferent because they don't understand this. But one of the critical things and it's why the interviews are taking place, is we need the companionship of one another. We need the companionship of being in touch with people who are on their journey too, who are doing MindStore. We need the companionship to encourage one another. There are people out there, now you know there are family members, there's people you met at courses, there's people who've now become friends. I keep saying, don't assume they know that these videos are available. Don't assume they know about the extraordinary interview with Kathleen. And all she does is someone from a background like mine got out and got up and got on with it and continue to get out beyond their comfort zones. And you can too. But one of the biggest comfort zones you've got to get out of is to start engaging with others. Get in touch with the MindStore people you know, get them back in. Once you watch the video, why not get in touch? Why on earth would you not have already sent questions or share some stuff that we can pick up in workshop 4? Please, 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 get out of yourself. Help others with this, and ultimately, as long as I can get down into the studio tomorrow, I'm going to start recording this course that I've penned so that you can introduce it confidently to family, friends, colleagues, loved ones, and get them on this road. Because life is flying by at a pace, and out there all we can see, if they engage in the news and all the negativity out there, my God, where is the hope? But you and I have got the hope. You and I not only have the hope, you and I have the tools and techniques to make sure that we can live the rest of our lives maximised, being the best version of ourselves. And you know why? Because you know, and I know, that MindStore works. As I've always said, it only works. Your family, friends and colleagues don't know anything about this stuff. It's unlikely they've set goals. They won't have a clue. Now, going over that 4-week period, starting on the 2nd of December, you could risk yourself to invite them in and do it with them, especially at home. Because you know, a big part of it is making space for the future. There is no future if there's no space for it. And we're going to do all that stuff. Why not do it together? It will be really exciting. And oh my goodness, as I change my hand holding this phone up, oh, my hands, they could be warmer right now. Have a cracker. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow.